Yes, Pallavi, I started the recording. So the other place most of the times will be Excel or flat files, but it doesn't matter because in most of the instances, in most of the instances, it is definitely needed. It comes into effect many places. Basically, it starts with having data in more than one place to something like if you want to create a map, okay, custom map, you might need a second data source for that, so that you can get the latitude and longitude for that. Okay, you can also use other data source for any custom information that you try to generate. Awesome. Now let's talk about the data blending part. Okay, perfect. So let's see first what should we discuss here. We have done this, right? Renaming the columns and changing the data type of attributes. I'm assuming everyone's familiar with this. Data blending is listed here. I just want to make sure I have finished these topics with you so that I can go to this point topic. Okay. Renaming the columns and changing the data type of attributes. Remember, we already did that. You can rename this one by clicking on rename, something like that. Changing the data type, you can click here and do it like that. Now remember, we have also discussed what happens when we are trying to convert, say, a string into number. It will be nulls. So number whole. It will be nulls. What is the reason for that? Basically, it is unable to convert to integers. Awesome. Next, let's see. Using data refresh extracts. What is a data extract option and what is TDE? Did we see these two? What is data extract and what is TDE? I have unmuted all of you. So if you have anything, you can speak up. Okay. I'm assuming everyone's familiar with the data extract option, which lies here. This is the extract option. And what is TDE? Basically Tableau data extract. So once you click on this data extract option, so say I go here, it's asking me to save this data, right? So saving this extract, I save in the format of Tableau data extract, okay, .tde. So what does TDE contain? Basically TDE contains your data. Awesome. Next, let's see how to switch back to live connection. We have already seen that. How to do that? So basically say, I'll save this one, order sample store, replace it, yes. One moment until it saves. Now you are already familiar with all the filters, right? Filters and options here. What does hide all unused fields do? What does history do? All these things. Yes. Next here, to switch to live connection, what will we do? Right click, uncheck this mark. Once you uncheck this mark, it's going to be a live connection. You see the change in the icon next to your data source. If it's use extract, what is the symbol? And if it's not to use extract, what is the symbol? Awesome. Next, how to refresh the data and how to schedule data refresh. So scheduling data refresh is done with your Tableau server. Okay, so we'll discuss this point when we are discussing Tableau server. Schedule job can be created from Tableau server. So now we'll see refreshing the data. Okay, so to refresh the data, what will we do? Right click. So if you click on refresh here, it's going to refresh the live connection. If you click on refresh here, so first you have to use extract, and once you do that, then this option will be enabled. If you click extract from here, then what will it do? It basically will go to your actual data connection, load the actual or the new data from there onto your extract. Okay, awesome. Next one, what is data blending and what are the basic requirements for data blending? Before I proceed into this, okay, before I proceed into this, is everyone clear till point 15? And are you clear on joins? How to do a join? Yes. So you're clear on both the topics. You're clear till point 15 and you're clear on joins. So now let's see data blending. So the reason for using data blending is the join, you can do it in only one server. Okay. If your data is in multiple servers, you cannot do a join. If your data say is in SQL Server and some of the data is in Excel, then you cannot do a join. Okay, but one small thing you have to note here, this is very important. I said you cannot do a join between two different servers or data sources. Okay, now this one is till Tableau 9. From Tableau 10, right now only beta is out. Okay, from Tableau 10 you can do cross data source joins. Okay, that means say you have some data in SQL and some data in Excel, you can do a join in that case. Awesome. But most of the companies are still in Tableau 9. Tableau 10 is not yet released. So you definitely have to know what is data blending and why should you know that. So what is the use of data blending we just discussed basically, so that you can get data from more than one data source. Now the next thing, what are the basic requirements for data blending? So the basic requirements for data blending is that, so say I have this data source, okay, let me create one more data source or add one more data source. Excel, just a moment. Okay. So this is my other data source. Let me explain this a little bit. Okay, so this is one data source and this is my other data source. So here I have some states. Okay, I want to get sales information of these states because I think, oh, one moment, let me just do one small thing. Okay, because I don't have sales information here. So what should I do? Basically, I need to get sales information from my other table. So here my sales information is present. To do that, I simply drag and drop it. Now sales is from the secondary data source because it has an orange tick next to it. And where is the blue tick? Or orders sample superstore 500 rows. So that's my primary data source. Perfect. So in this one, between these two, okay, how did the data basically or practically, like in this case, how did it join? So if you observe here, when I clicked on this one, you see these links next to it, everything is broken except for the state. So basically in this instant or in this instance, the join or the linkage happened between my state column between these two data sources. Okay, this state and this state, there was a join. Okay, so because it happened between two different data sources, we call it data blending. And because now what it basically did was it compared each and every state, the value in this state column, it compared. So Alabama was here in this state column. Alabama was also present in the state column. So whatever total sum of sales it would give for Alabama would be displayed here. Okay. For Alabama in my data source 2 will be displayed next to sales or Alabama next to, sorry, the sales next to Alabama from data source 1. This is just like a join. Okay. Very similar to a join. The only difference is it's coming from multiple data sources. Okay. So Raven asked me, what is this join? Raven, I did not understand the question. What do you mean by what is this join? Okay. Like inner join. Okay. Raven clarified the question. What type of join is this? Is it inner join, left join, right join, or cross join? So right now, or by default, a left join occurs. The left table is your primary data source and the right table is your secondary data source. Okay. Are you clear, Raven? So the code for this join. What do you mean by the code? Basically, do you want to know the on clause, Sarita? Sarita asked, can we see the code for this join? Sarita, you can speak up. You have muted yourself.
No, just like what we see in the freehand SQL. So can we see the code here?
I can try to show it to you in the log. But no, I think this option is better for you.
Yeah.
So now, click on data, edit relationships. Okay. So by default, because it's going to try to match all the field names. So in this data source, these are the present fields, right? And in this data source, these are the fields that were present. Okay. So it will try to match the column names. Okay.
Right.
And then it's going to make a relationship. So right now, automatically, the relationship can happen between any of these. Okay. All of these columns. But in this worksheet, okay, in particularly this worksheet, the join happened between state. How do you know that? Because everything else has a breakage. Okay.
Right.
All of the other links are not enabled, right?
Yes.
So this way I know that the link happened between only one column, state.
And this blend, you did not do it explicitly. That happened by default.
Yes. How did it
So,
take state only? Basically because I've used state field here. Okay. Because I have used state from this data source. Okay. Before I go to data source 2 and pull information. That's why it joined on state. Okay. Let me open another workbook. Okay. So here I'll open category. Okay. From here, I'll drag category into here and also subcategory. Okay. Now in my secondary data source, if you see, category and subcategory are already linked.
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Because in my view, present view, these two were joined. Now I can also unlink them.
Yeah.
I can also unlink them. Click unlink, link. The results are different. Why? Basically, when I unlink them, so the sales for this one, okay, sales, it joined on category, right? So sales for the whole category will be displayed next to it. Okay, that's why for this category, for all the rows, 742K is displayed. For each subcategory, why is 742,000 displayed? Or in fact, like The actual question is, why are all of these values same? The reason is that because I have joined only on category, okay?
So it's by furniture, not by the subcategory.
No, not by the subcategory.
Yeah,
I can do it like this
yeah,
also. Now the
yeah,
results are same because for bookcases, basically it joined on these values. It doesn't care what this category next to it belongs to, okay?
yeah.
Say I select region from here to here. Now if I go here, my region is also enabled. I can also select category, okay? Now if I unlink this, then for each category, for each region, that means this value will be same. These four columns, these four rows, these four rows, and these four rows. Is everyone clear on this till now? Why
Yeah.
are these values same? If I
Yes.
clicked on subcategory, why are these values different? Okay, perfect.
Uh, Shiva,
Yeah,
when we do link from second data source, so
okay.
will it going to be add in columns because it's join, or
Yeah, it's going to be like a join. So it will add columns. Okay, so basically right now what did we do? From here we took category, subcategory, and region. Okay, sales was not here, right? So we added the sales column to figure this information out. Okay, awesome. No other questions, right, till now? Okay, now here this relationship is per worksheet. So right now in this worksheet, in sheet 2, category, region, and subcategory are linked. In my sheet 1, if I go select here, only state is joined. So all these linkages that are happening, okay, are per worksheet. That means for each worksheet, the linkage can be different. But if it's a join, okay, if it's a join, it will be the same for the whole workbook, not just worksheet or dashboard, but for whole workbook. If you create a join, okay, if you create a join, then it's going to be the same. The same data will be present everywhere if you create a join. But with this one, what I can do is I can create a left join in the first worksheet. I can create a right join in the second worksheet. I can create an inner join in the third worksheet. Okay, are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, if you create a join, okay, so even if the data is from one database server, okay, even if the data is from one database server, if you create a join, then the data is constant for the whole workbook. Okay, remember it's not worksheet but workbook. If you do a data blend, or you can also say if you define, you can have the data vary per each worksheet. I'm assuming you're already familiar with worksheet, workbook, dashboard, story, all of these terminologies. Okay, awesome. Perfect. So, for example, let's discuss a scenario, okay? I have two tables, table 1 and table 2. Okay, I need to develop few worksheets. Okay, in worksheet 1, what do I need in worksheet 1? Basically, I need the data just from table 1. Okay, in worksheet 2, I need the data just from table 2. Worksheet 3, an inner join from table 1 and table 2. Okay, worksheet 4, a left join from table 1 and table 2. Worksheet 5, a right join from table 1 and table 2. Worksheet 6, okay, an outer join from table 1 and table 2. Okay, so if this is my requirement, okay, now what will happen if I used a join? If I want to use a join, okay, I should have used one data source here, the next one here, sorry, one data source here, two data sources, 3, 4, 5, and 6 data sources I have to use. But with a data blend, I can accomplish all of these 6 types of worksheets with just two data sources. I can take this one and this one individually, okay, and I can work with and generate all of these 6 types. Now say I need a view, okay, where I am joining, okay, where I am joining on category in one worksheet, okay, and category, region, and subcategory in another worksheet. So basically I'm saying if my on clause changes, okay, right now in both the places I need a left join, but if my on clause changes in both the worksheets, okay, then what will happen? If on clause changes in both the worksheets, then I have to create one more data source, or two distinct data sources should have been needed if I used a join to create these two worksheets. Okay, but with a data blend I was able to accomplish it easily, quickly, and I didn't need to create another data source. So creating a data source would add to your clutter. Okay, is everyone clear on advantages of a data blend? Okay, so one thing you have to note is, right, till now we have discussed the uses of data blend. Now there are also disadvantages of using a data blend. Okay, I will help you out, but that's your homework for tomorrow. Okay, what are the disadvantages of data blending? Clear? What are the disadvantages of data blending? That's the question for tomorrow. Okay, perfect. Let me write it out. What are the Now what I want you to do is send me an email, okay, with your answer for this. Okay, simple, right? You can find this information with Googling for less than 20 minutes. Okay, okay, guys. send me an email with whatever you find. Even if you don't find anything, send me an email. Okay, that's good enough, right? But I want an email from you tomorrow before the class. If you did not find anything, just send me, I did not find anything. As simple as that. But send me an email tomorrow. Perfect. What is data blending? Basic requirements. Let's discuss, sorry, we haven't discussed the basic requirements. Oh, some of you are asking for my email IDs. Okay. It's intuitiontraining2016@gmail.com. Okay, now basic requirements and few more modifications of data blending. Let's see now. So till now, I showed you the relationships here. Okay. Now by the way it did was automatically it created these relationships. How did it happen? Basically because the column names are same. Sometimes that is not the case. Okay. What happens in those cases? To work with that, say for example, okay, let me create one more worksheet, or let me close these. Okay, I'll create one more worksheet here. Okay, now in this one, I want to define my relationship. My definition should be such that row ID, row ID from here should be joined to ID here. Simple, right? Row ID here, ID here. What are the steps that I went through? Click on data, edit relationships. You have to select custom here. By default, automatic will be there. If it's automatic, then you cannot make any changes to this. Select custom here, and in custom, you can define whatever relationships you can get. So what was the primary data source? How did you know? My primary data source is orders sample superstore. Okay, primary data source field. These are the list of fields in there. And secondary data source, these are the columns in your secondary data source. You have selected that. That's the reason you are not getting any more options to select which data source it is from if you have more than 2 data sources. So now that I have established a link between these two, click OK. Click OK. Once I did that, what can I do? So for example, here I need information from category. Okay, I can unlink this. I can link ID and then bring my sales. Okay. But you need to have a link between these two to get information, right? As simple, right? So if I stop this link, it's going to put all the sales here. This category. These are the total sales for category. These are the total sales for ID. Now you might ask, what is the difference? But are you clear with the difference between why are the sales values this one if I joined ID, while it's this value if I joined category? The reason is that, okay, now in this one there are only 500 rows. In this one there are 10,000 rows. Okay, 500 rows, 10,000 rows. So here, oh, before I do that, we are identifying each row. Okay, we are identifying each row with row ID. So row ID is my primary key here. Okay, so this is like only 5% of this set. But if you join on category, what will it do? It basically takes the category list of values in category and populates the sales figures appropriate for those category. Okay, but category is the wrong answer. Why? We have to use row ID. Why? Let's see. For example, let's say there is an instance, okay? Here I have a table 1, okay? Here I have name next to it, and you place some orders. This is say dollars orders and say dollars. How much you spend? So say Joe is present here. In this orders, he spent $15. Again, Joe is present. He spent $50. Now, how am I identifying these? With another column called ID. 1, 2, and so on. Okay? Simple, right? One moment. Let me move this to the middle. Okay? This is my table 1. In table 2, I have an ID, name, and orders in dollars. Okay? Now here, I have a list of Joe's purchases for more than one instance or more than 2 instances. Say all year sales were listed here. Okay? So here he made sales of $50. Say I'll put the date also here. Say he made this on May 20th. Okay? Sorry. 2, 1, Joe, $15 on May 20th. 3, Joe, he made $35 on May, say 19th. Okay? Now in this case, if you join on the name column, okay? So what are the sales? So you don't have this information. Let me remove this and just for this instance, okay? So you have an ID and name. You want to get the sales figure of Joe, okay? Now what will you do? Joe, the sales figure that you will get if you join on the name column is $100. If I join on name field, Joe, in this case it's $65 if joined on ID. Okay, now this is the difference. Okay, now you have to understand which instances you're trying to get this information from. Is everyone clear? Why do you have a difference? Is everyone present? Guys? Okay, perfect. I'm assuming everyone is familiar, so I'm going to discuss another topic. This is important, guys. Okay, up to you. Perfect. So next one, how to create new calculated members with other data source members into main data source measures panel. Oh, one small thing I have forgot to mention earlier is that, say, when you click on edit relationships, click on add. Okay, so if you observe here, these columns, the measures will not populate in here. So you cannot do data blending on measures. If you need, you have to convert the measure, or you have to create a copy of your measure, turn it into a dimension, and then do the data blending. Okay, so for example, in this instance, let me convert this one, say discount. I'll convert this to dimension. Now discount is in dimension. Okay, data, edit relationships, add, sorry, one moment. I guess it's creating some issues, guys, sorry. I'm extremely sorry. There seems to be a small issue. I'll try to do a little bit of research and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay? Perfect. Next one, create new calculated members with other data source members into main data source measures panel. So what I'm trying to say is I want you to create a calculated field by using data from this one, from this data source. So how should I do that? To do that, you can simply create a calculated field, and when you use the type ahead, say you're trying to get discount. Okay? If you observe here, there are two discounts. If nothing is listed, then the column or field that you're trying to get is from your primary or the present data source. My mistake, not primary, is from the current data source. If something is listed like this, order sample superstore discount. Now this one is coming from this data source, okay, the other data source. Clear? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So if I click on OK, now I have created a calculated field in my primary data, in the orders data source, okay, in the orders data source, but I am getting this information from order sample superstore, okay, perfect. Is everyone clear? Great. Next, we'll start the visualization basics. We have seen few of these options before: creating hierarchies, adding members to hierarchies, and removing hierarchies. We have seen the importance of hierarchies also, right? If you have any questions, you can speak up. The next one are what are the sort options in Tableau and how to do sorting on X and Y axis. We have discussed the sorting options for now. Once we once we discuss the charts, we'll discuss how to sort on X and Y fields. But a simple introduction, just like how we were sorting earlier. One moment. So how you are sorting earlier in this way, right? In the same way, you can also sort. So one moment. So one moment. Let me create a chart. Okay. So you can also sort X and Y fields in the same way. Clear? And also you can see an icon next to the column here, okay, on how they are sorted. Perfect. But we'll discuss more options of sorting in this one once we discuss charts. Next, we have seen what is grouping, how to create a group in a report, and how to ungroup. We have seen the advantages of group and ungroup. Why would an end user, not the developer, end user means the client, you can think of it like that. Why would a client want to group something? How to add other members to existing groups we have seen, and how to verify the groups from dimension pane. Are you clear with that? How to verify the groups from dimension pane? Is everyone clear on that? Yes.
So I couldn't recall that. Can you say once again?
I'm sorry?
Uh, can you say that once again on dimension pin, how to verify groups?
Okay.
I didn't
Simple.
remember exactly.
Definitely no problem. So say I put subcategory into this and I want to create a group based on these two subcategories. Okay. I'll click this icon. Okay. Now what will happen is subcategory group will be created. See here, subcategory group. How do I distinct that? If you observe the icon, okay, this pin. So whenever I try to, like do a group, you see this icon, group members, the same icon is displayed here. So even if you edit the name, you can identify your groups based on the icon next to them. Okay, perfect. Next one, we have started discussing about sets. Yes, what are sets and how to create sets with different options we have seen. Yeah, report result page, combine option, dynamic set, conditional set, and formula based set. Report result page means basically this one. You can create a set from right here. Now the biggest advantages of a set is that set can be used in a calculated field, whereas a group cannot be used in a calculated field. So for example, let me select these two. Okay. Now I can make a group out of these, or I can make a set out of these. Now the advantage of set is that this set, the definition that I used, click on edit set. Okay. Now this set that I used, okay, can be used in a calculated field. Okay, create calculated field. Whereas if I create a group, okay, this is the group that I have, right? Right click, create, calculated field was not there. So if I do it for any other category, create, you see calculated field is present here. I cannot do that with a group option. That's the biggest disadvantage of a group, other than dynamically changing the definition of the group. So for example, if I want to make a set or a group basically with all those subcategories which have a negative profit, okay, which have a negative profit. So right now these three are present. What happens if a fourth one comes? So say there was a problem with labels and labels are right now in a loss. In this instance, you might want to have labels in that group or set. But if you create a group from this, like this, it will have the same definition. Okay. So it will not be dynamic in nature. Whereas if you create a set, okay, then you can change the definition. So you could have included labels automatically. Okay, perfect. I'm assuming you're clear with that. Now next one we'll see add dimensions or measures to quick filter section for end user filtering purposes. So how should I add a dimension or measure to quick filter? So to do that, okay, first let's discuss about Filters. Let's start with that and then we'll see on how to add them. So filters, okay, the quick filters to concentrate, okay. Quick filters, one moment. Quick filters are mainly three types. The first one, once you put a dimension, two for a measure, it's different for these options. And third one, for a date, okay. Dimension, measure and date. So first let's see dimension options. So say I try to filter on this state, okay, this is the dimension, right? Click state and drop it here. So here, remember the definition of a set, it's the same here, similar. So you can select from a list. This is the whole list. So select all of them, none of them, you can exclude all of them, none of them, doesn't matter. Okay, you can use this custom value list and search something like this. You can also exclude them or not. You can use all of them. So these options you can observe it here. Selection, selected 1 of 49 values. Selected 4 of 49 values because I had selected 4 values. Illinois and Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas. Okay, that's my selection page. And in wildcard, I have all written. So let me click here. You could have also clicked here or here. So what does wildcard do is basically it's going to search the value. Something like if it contains the letter A. Okay. If it contains the letter A, sorry, if it contains the letter A, then it will be included. If not, it will not be included. Okay. Click apply. Now only states with the letter A will be included. Now if say ILL, if I want to apply them, then only states with this letter ILL will be used to filter your data. Okay. Perfect. That's my wildcard. This was contains. You can also use starts with. That means all those states that starts with the letters ILL will be included. Those that end with, that means all those states that end with these three letters will be included. Exact matches. That means states with just these three letters ILL in the same order specified will be included. Okay. Include all values when empty. So if say there's nothing, then do you want to include or not? And then we have one more option of exclude. So basically, now that you have entered an ILL value, do you want to exclude all those states or not? So that means the first option earlier was contains. Now opposite of that means does not contain. ILL means all those states that does not contain this ILL will be shown. Does not start with, does not end with, does not match. Just the opposite options of these four. You can clear it from here. Next, the condition. You can do something like a by field. So say profit greater than $100. Sum of profit greater than $100. Or you can give average, you can give median. Not just a measure, you can do category. So where count of category is less than 50. Count distinct of category is greater than 2. That means minimum of 2 categories. So sorry, the state should have more than 2 categories. All those states that way will be included. Okay. You can have a range of values also. Click on load. So the minimum is 1 and maximum is 3. That means there are states with with just one category, and there are states with maximum of 3 categories. The range of values This is just so that you can see how they, like, what is the variance kind of. You can enter your condition here or by a formula. If you want to give a complex formula, you can do it by here. Okay, by field and by formula. And then we have top option, something like select top 20 by sum of sales. Sum of sales. So this is my condition. Okay, I can give it like this. I can give it like this. Doesn't matter. I can also give by formula, but I need to write the formula here. So something like I can write average of sales or count of sales. It's basically like you can give any formulas. Okay. Are you clear with these options? The different dimension filters. Different options in a dimension filter. No mistake. Okay. Any questions?